Chapter 5. Baba's return with Chand Patil's marriage, welcomed and addressed as Sai, contact with other saints, and the daily routine, and the story of Paduka. First, let us see the return of Baba with Chand Patil's marriage and the troop. As hinted in the last chapter, I shall now describe first how Sai Baba returned to Shirdi after his disappearance. They lived in Aurangabad, Nizam state, in a village called Dhoop. A well-to-do Mohammedan gentleman by the name Chand Patil, while he was making a trip to Aurangabad in Maharashtra state, he has lost his mare, that is a lady horse, for 2 months long. He made diligent search but could not get any trace of the lost mare. After big disappointment, he returned from the city with the saddle on his back. After traveling 4 kos, 1 kos is equals to 3 miles and a half, he came on the way to a mango tree under the foot of which sat a ratna, that means queer fellow. He had a cap on his head, wore a kafni, that is a long robe kind of attire, and had a satka, that means a short stick, under his arm. On seeing Chand Patil passes, he called out, and to rest a little. The fakir asked him about the saddle. Chand Patil replied that it was his mare which was lost. This fakir asked him to make a search in the Nala close by. Nala is referred to canal water. He went and wondered of wonders. He found out the mare. He thought that this fakir was not an ordinary man, but an great saint. He returned to the fakir with mare. He requested the fakir to come home and accept his hospitality. Next day, he went to Patil's house and stayed there for some time. The Patil was a village officer of Dhoop village. His wife, brother's son, was to be married, and the bride was from Shirdi. So Patil made arrangements to start a trip to Shirdi for the function. The fakir also accompanied this marriage party and went down, but later stayed in Shirdi, and the Chand Patil returned back to Dhoop. This is how Sai Baba returned to Shirdi. Now let us see the story how the fakir got the name Sai. One day when the marriage party came to Shirdi, alighted at the foot of a banyan tree in Bhagat Mahalspati's field near Khandoba's temple. Lord Khandoba have another name as Bhairava, worshipped as the incarnation of Lord Shiva. The carts were loosened in the open courtyard. The carts then parked, and the members of the party descended one by one, and the fakir also got down. Mahalspati Sahab saw this young fakir getting down and accosted him. Ya Sai Ya, that means in Marathi language, Ya is welcome, come in, and Sai is the name. Others also addressed him as Sai, and since then he became to known as Sai Baba. Now let us see the other contact with other saints. Sai Baba began to stay in a deserted masjid. One saint named Devidas was living in Shirdi for many years before Baba came there. Baba liked his company. He stayed with him in the Maruti temple. Maruti is Lord Hanumanas, called in Marathi language, in the Chavdi area, and sometime lived alone. Then came another saint by the name Janki Das Sahib. Baba spent most of his time in talking with these acquaintances in the residence. Also, one Vaishya house holder saint from Putambe by name Gangagir Sahib also frequented to Shirdi. When he first saw Sai Baba carrying pitchers of water in both hands for watering the garden, he was amazed and said openly, "Blessed is Shirdi that it got this precious jewel. This man is carrying water today, but he is not an ordinary fellow, as this land was lucky and meritorious. It secured this jewel." Also, one famous saint named Anantanath of Yevla Mutt. Mutt is a place where preachers live together. From Anandanath Mutt, a disciple of Akkalkot Maharaj, one of the famous saints from Maharashtra, came to Shirdi with some people. When he saw Sai Baba, he said openly, "This is a precious diamond in reality. Though he looks like an ordinary man, he is not a ordinary stone, but a diamond. You will realize this in the near future." This has been said when Baba was a youngster. Baba's dress and daily routine. In his younger days, Sai Baba grew hair on his head. Never has his head shaved. He dressed like an athlete. When he went to Rahata, 3 miles from Shirdi, he brought with him small plant of marigold, which is in Hindi known as Jai and Jui. And after cleaning, he planted and watered them. A devotee by the name Vaman Tatya supplied him daily with 2 earthen pitchers. With these, Baba himself used to water the plants. He drew water from the well and carried on his shoulder. In the evening, this course went on for 3 years. There grew a flower garden on this site. At present stands the big mansions where Samadhi Mandir of Baba, which is now frequented and used by devotees. Thank you for listening to the audio. Now listen to the next chapters. Om Shri Sai Ram.